Alright, we're looking at this ORD here, so the first thing I'm going to do is cancel the path, which is right here on the right hand side. I'm then going to select all of the traverse lines and delete them. And then I'm going to get like a different color line here, which is kind of weird. Let's see, let's look at what this is. So we go click on a single line, options, properties. It's 53%, so we'll make these 53% as well. We're going to analyze the drawing. These red lines are your lead-ins. So let's see. This is a little strange because it's going to cut these out as individual letters, so it's not clear to me if that's what was desired. Are you cutting these out to inlay them in something? I can't answer that question. You would have to tell me if you're inlaying. So right, let's see. I don't see anything. Here's my view extents button. All right, let's turn that off. Okay, so this is the problem here. So let me undo. So even though we examine the drawing and it's looks like everything is maybe kind of okay, if I clean up, if I use this purge function here below examine drawing, it's going to look for any really tiny lines that are perhaps overlapped that you might not be able to see. And you can see that there are 44 zero length lines, which is a point. They're points. That's what a zero length line is. So there's points being exported from your drawing. So I don't know why that would be, but you can use that purge function to look for it here. It's the little broom icon. So you can see if I check it again, 0 entities were erased. Yeah, so there was an overlap. Okay, so now that we've turned the examine drawing back on, we can see that some of these 0 length lines were in here. So we have little breaks essentially. But we can fix that a different way. So let's go option, let me see, options, examination properties. And this is our cutting offset is 22 thou, which is normal, and then our connected point tolerance. Let's just make that 2 thou for a second. Nope. Okay. Let's make it 5 thou. I might have to turn it off and turn it back on. Oh, interesting. So there's a bunch of small lines. There's a bunch of small lines in this drawing. So when you go to options, examination properties, you can change the connected point tolerance, which means it looks at the ends of lines and it sees if there's very tiny gaps. This is not unusual. Anytime you transfer CAD from one system to another, you're going to have weird geometry issues because the CAD programs don't use the same math to create the files. So that's interesting. So what's happening here is, okay, Okay, there's no short lines there, but oops, I hit the wrong button there. Examine. So there is a break. There's a couple breaks in these lines. Very interesting. Unfortunately, what you would have to do in this situation is redraw like this contour. Oops, sorry, it's my mouse acting up. Let me move my mouse here. Sorry, my pad is doing something weird with my mouse. So we're gonna have to redraw this contour because there's just too many breaks in it. So the way I would do this is we turn off examination. We're going to, oh, you have two lead in, lead outs on that. Oh, maybe, hold on. We're gonna delete all these lead in, lead outs. Let's examine it now. Yeah, it's still broken. And what's very interesting is there's a thickness here. So if you see this line is going around, the path is going around this line, that would indicate that there's got to be like two, yeah, see there's multiple lines here. So if you see there's a line, and a line. So this is probably what's happening in the rest of the drawing. You have lines on top of lines. I don't know if you drew this in 2D, perhaps you drew this and it had thickness. Let me actually rotate and see if it has thickness. No, it doesn't have any thickness below it. It might be, if you drew this as a 2D photo or a 2D object and you exported it, it may have exported lines on top of lines. Let's just see. Okay, there's nothing there. There's, oh yeah, there's a whole. Well, no, those are just connected lines. That's just because I'm zoomed way out. Yeah, there's only one there. So whenever you see, and whenever you examine a drawing, you see something weird like this. Like it should never loop around a line. The only reason it would loop around a line is there's multiple lines there. I'm guessing there's also duplicate lines somewhere in here. So here's what I would do. Given I don't know if there's more, and it's very hard to find them, what I would do is I would grab our contour select, which is right here, and I'm going to just click on each contour, okay? And that's a straight line, so I'm just going to connect. Don't worry about that. I'm going to connect that when we're done. What I'm doing is I'm selecting the closed contours, which will leave any duplicate lines behind. Okay. Don't worry about your lead-ins. We'll recreate those. Okay. So I have. Oh, not the V. I need the bullet V there. Okay, so I have everything. I'm not going to worry about that line. We're going to fix that line after. Now we're going to move this. Let me think how I would move this if I don't know the current point. Let's see. I can actually record. I don't know if this is in a specific position for you. So if it's in a specific home position, we would just need to remember that by we can draw a fictitious line and make it a different speed. So like we'll draw 100%. Oh, that's okay. Actually, that's okay. What I just did there was okay. I had everything selected and it changed it to 100, so that's fine. So let's draw an 80% line from here to here. And that's just going to give me a point to move everything back to. So now I'm gonna select. Now that I've changed the speed of that, I'm gonna select same speed and I'm gonna type in 100. And what that's going to do is going to automatically select every yellow line. And then I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, so here was what the problem was. All of these little tiny lines. Some of them are lead-ins, but there's also like a little dot. I don't know if you can see it on your screen there, but it may not record because it's like a pixel. So what we're going to do is we're going to deselect everything, and we're just going to draw a box around everything here and delete it. Then I'm going to select that line and make it 100%. Ooh, do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. So I leave it on single select. I'm just gonna make sure that I select that area. Let's just highlight the whole area again and hit delete. Highlight the whole area, hit delete. And let's do the same thing here and drag down and just make sure that we delete anything in that area. How many people right there? Alright, now let's move this back. So we're going to highlight this, we're going to move it from this point back to the corner of that. At this point I can now delete that line, so I highlight it, hit delete. I'm going to draw a line from here to here to connect that contour. And we're going to look at the examine drawing. So it looks a lot better right now. Looks a lot better right now. Alright, so let's turn that off. We'll select all the cutting lines and change it back to 53%, which is what you had it at. Alright. I mean, it can be any speed, right? I mean, we can select it and make it 60% if we want. So let's select everything again and auto path it. And let's file. Oh, actually, hold on. Before we save that, let's just start opening FlowCut, because it's going to take a second to open. File, export path as, we're going to call this trial 1. Alright, we're going to open. Open trial 1, and we're going to dry run it, and it's not going. You can see that's doing what it's supposed to do. So the issue you had there was you had some zero length lines, some points that came over. You also had some duplicate lines on top of other lines that happened there. And that's what was causing the issue. So you wouldn't have been able to see them because of the size. It's just this is an issue with transferring CAD files between programs. It has nothing to do with Flow specifically. It's just anytime you're moving CAD programs from one system to another, you're going to get weird geometric anomalies. Hopefully this video helps you clean that up. We will go ahead and save that file and send it back to you.